Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Progress. I always tell you that to get better at chess you need to study tactics, endgames, the classics from the past and the present, and analyze your own game. This is number 4 in the Endgames series. In fact, it's a combination of two. It is about tactics in the endgame. I have two examples for you and I'll ask you to solve those yourself. So make sure to put the video on hold because I will give the solution directly afterwards. Let's go to the first one. It's white to play and win. Let's look at the position. Yes, it's an endgame. Rook and knight versus rook and bishop. And both 5 pawns. Both kings centralized. And how can white win here? So if you want to look for yourself, put the video on hold. And if you would like a few tips, then keep listening. I will not give the solution straight away. What you should see here is that, of course, the bishop on d5 is pinned, which is a factor. And that bishop is attacked twice by rook and knight and defended by rook and king. It's not possible to attack that bishop a third time, but what can white do? What you should see here is that the rook on f5 does not have many squares. It does not have any squares actually to keep protecting the bishop. So if you could attack that rook so that the rook would have to flee, then the bishop would not be protected enough. And how can you do that? Well, I will give the solution now, so if you still want to look, put the video on hold. The solution is to play the knight from c3 to d1. And why is that good? Because you give up one of the attackers of the bishop, but there is now a threat in the position. The threat is knight d1 to e3, attacking the bishop again, but also attacking that rook. And as we just saw, the rook does not have any squares to keep protecting the bishop, so that would win material. And the funny thing is that there's nothing that black can do against that, because the bishop is pinned. You can play king e6 to unpin the bishop, but that's too late. Knight e3, attacking both rook and bishop, will win material, will win an exchange. Because there's no way you can save the rook and keep protecting the bishop at the same time. So quite elegant, playing the knight from c3 to e3 and having the time to do that because of the pin and because of the unfortunate position of the rook on f5. Tactics in the endgames. You can see that even with very few pieces on the board, tactics still play an important role. Let's look at the second one. In this position, it's again white to play and win. Let's have a look. Both players have rook and bishop, and black has an extra pawn, but what strikes the eye is of course that pawn on a7, who is only one step away from promotion. But of course that pawn is well covered by the rook on a4. How can white win here? If you want to look for yourself, put the video on hold. I will give a few tips. Now I won't give the solution straight away. If you try and protect the pawn with rook d7, that keeps the pawn alive, but it doesn't really help that much. You can't get control over the a8 square. What you really want to do is challenge the a file. You want to get with your rook to a2, protected by the bishop, so that you can challenge that rook and get your pawn promoted. How do you do that? Okay, I will give the solution now. The first move is rook b2. attacking the bishop. Of course, white's own bishop is also attacked, but that piece cannot be taken. If the rook would take that, then there is a8, and white has a queen. So after rook b2, black will have to save his bishop. Bishop e4 is really the only move, and now the a2 square is available for the rook. So white plays rook a2. There's really nothing better than swap the rooks. Rook takes a2, bishop takes a2, but then black has c6, c5, and now the bishop is controlling the pawn. So everything still looks okay for black. But now comes a beautiful move. You might want to have a look, because finding this move yourself is something that will make you very happy. The move is bishop b1. Wonderful move. Tactics in the endgame. This is actually a position from a good friend of mine, international master Dharma Cham from the Netherlands. And he showed me this position a long time ago. Bishop b1, what a move. Why does this win? The bishop is pinned. Of course, the bishop on b1 is hanging, but if you take that bishop, then there's a8 queen, and you cannot take the bishop away to keep covering the a8 square because it is pinned to the king. So there is no way you can avoid white promoting on the next move, so white wins here. Wonderful tactic in the endgame, coming from a real game. Hope you enjoyed these two positions. As you can see, tactics are so important, not only in the opening and in the middle game, but also in the end game. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess to Progress channel, and I'm looking forward to your comments. If you haven't done so, you may want to check out my Chess to Impress channel with lots of material. This is Rick from Chess to Progress. Thank you very much for watching.